Jordan with the recovery, and Jordan is fouled. The basket counts and a foul.
Jordan with the strength.
Here's Jordan splitting the road.
He's got it. He feels it. He splits the potential tap.
Jordan trying to shake off Starks. Oh, what a move by Jordan.
Interesting, Pippen is not on the floor here. Kukoc probably gets it. And it's all over! Himself by putting Mason on him. But from 6'7" to 6'11" is a plus 4 inches, and Kukoc made it work.
Used as it's a parody. If you don't have a sense of humor, go. Welcome. Is this my reality? Is this your reality?
A sensational move by Michael Jordan. Jordan came on and is now the third all-time scorer in NBA history.
This time, he fooled everybody. Went face.
Welcome to Not My Reality. This is another example of you can't make this shit up. We're going to talk about Scottie Pippen and his clown show. 3 grown men losing their minds. You know, Scottie Pippen, the Robin to Michael Jordan's Batman. So what's the problem? What's got Scottie, Horace Grant, and Luke Longley? What's got these guys so upset with MJ? Now, I'm going to preface this video with a full disclosure. I'm a Knicks fan. Yeah, I know. Look, I watched Michael and Scottie play. I watched Michael Jordan cut my team's heart out every single time. I watched my favorite player, Patrick Ewing, get stopped every time. By who? Who took us out every year? It sure wasn't Scottie Pippen. Support the channel. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Smash that notification bell. Remember, we can't be bought like the NBA. Did I say that? It's fixed? Nah. It's 2024 and years removed from the 2 3-peats MJ, Pippen, and the Bulls had. It's a new era in sports where soft behavior is rewarded, flops equal fouls, and going with the victimhood mentality that seems to be embedded so deeply in so many people's psyche. We have Pippen, Longley, and Grant joining on a tour in Australia, of course, not America, not to talk about the great Bulls teams and their great accomplishments, not the titles, not the winning, not the money, not the fame that came with it, but these 3 delusional ex-teammates have decided to bite the proverbial hand that fed them, Michael Jordan. Let's start out by getting these 2 bit players, these 2 clowns, out of the way. But what clowns? Horace Grant and Luke Longley. When did these 2 become great players? I must have missed it. Pippen's another story, but these 2 are really getting on my fucking nerves. Let's start with Horace Grant. Oh, Horace, come on now. You played 16 or so years, and your stat line, it's respectable. 11 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 assists. Your best year with the Bulls, you averaged 15 and 11. Well, that's very respectable. You really think that's why the Bulls won all those chips? Just a comparison. Karl Malone. Yeah, we know Karl Malone is a piece of shit in real life. But on the court, this guy averaged 25 points and 10 rebounds. That's pretty much what all-star power forwards did back then. We get it, Horace. You're mad because MJ called you a snitch. It's a heavy word, sure. So what's the best way to show you're not a snitch? Not that type of person. Go on tour bashing the man who got you those rings. And why the fuck are you wearing Air Jordans when you're on stage trashing Jordan? You don't even see the irony there? Does the fact that Dennis Rodman came in for the second 3-peat and did your job better than you? Crazy as Dennis was, he was more important in that 3-peat than you were to yours. You could just ask the Magic how big you came up in big spots.
Lots of guys are strong, and lots of guys have skill, and only one guy has this level of artistry.
Madison Square Garden, but once again.
The next one up, and the biggest clown in the bunch, in my opinion, is Luke Longley. Who the fuck is Luke Longley? This guy was the winner of the Lucky Lottery. In those days, In the 90s, you had Patrick Ewing, you had Elijah Wan, and the other post-dominant bigs of the day. So how dominant was old Luke? He must have brought a lot to the team, right? Well, looky here, Mr. Jordan was mean to me guy. What did you average over your illustrious career with your 3 rings that you got because of Michael? You averaged 10 and 10 at least, right? A double-double? No, not really. Old Luke here, he averaged 7 points, 5 rebounds as a 7-footer. And this was during the time when low post play was big. In comparison, another 7-footer who played for the Knicks, Patrick Ewing, averaged 21 points and 10 rebounds for his career. And he got beat every damn time. By who? Pippen? Grant? Longley? Get out of here. Hell no. Michael Jordan beat the Knicks. Michael Jordan beat everybody back then. Michael Jordan was feared. I don't think people feared Scottie Pippen, Horace Grant, or Luke Longley.
55 points by Michael Jordan.
Michael finds the open jam. Wellington with a jam. 3.1 remaining. Timeout, New York.
We dealt with those 2 crybabies. Let's get to the guy who has some kind of thoughts about himself and MJ. I call this the Pippen delusion. And we're talking about Scottie Pippen, otherwise known as Robin, or number 2. What the ever-loving fuck is going on with Scottie Pippen? Why the jealousy? The backstabbing? The animosity towards MJ? Scotty, listen to me, brother. You need to come back to reality. You need to snap back because you're making yourself look foolish. Now, MJ might not feel the need to snap back at you and put your goofy ass back in place, but I got nothing to do. So, here we go. Scotty, I watched your whole career. I watched you shoot up 5 inches and become a quality player in high school and college. I watched when you got drafted as Scott Pippen and were traded to the Bulls for Olden Polynice. Who? It's another story. Yeah, I know the beat of the drum. Jordan never won without Pippen. Jordan never won without Pippen. And I say, what's your point? That Jordan was so good, so dominant, that he could take players like Grant, Longley, and most of all Pippen, and go get them rings? Get one of them in the Hall of Fame? We already showed that Grant and Longley were not all the all-stars they thought they were. Like, the word mediocre really rings out to me. But Pippen, Scottie Pippen, Hall of Famer, top 50 of all time? You can't dispute that, can you? He was so dominant, right? Especially those years when Jordan retired. He dominated like MJ in his absence. Didn't he? No, he didn't. Let's get this straight right now. I think the only reason Pippen is in the top 50 is because of Jordan. I think the only reason he's a Hall of Famer is because of Jordan. 6-time champion is because of Jordan. Why am I saying this? I don't hold Pippen up as top 50. Shit, I don't even think he's a lock for the Hall of Fame. Let's take a real look at the grandeur of Mr. Pippen. Michael Jordan was drafted number 3, and he had 28 points, 6.5 rebounds, and 6 assists his rookie year, the first year in the league. One more time, 28 points, 6.5 rebounds, and 6 assists. Now, Scottie Pippen, drafted 3 years later after Michael had already been to the playoffs and won scoring titles. Pippen came in his rookie year. Pippen had 7 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. Hardly anything to get excited about, while MJ averaged 35 points, 6 and 6 that same season Pippen was a rookie. Here's more. Jordan would average over 30 points per game 7 years in a row during that time. Pippen had his best average 22 points a game in the 1994 season when Jordan was retired. It's not like when Mike was gone, Scotty went on to drop 30 a game or was the best player in the league that year without MJ holding him back. Look back, Scotty. You sat out the last shot in a game against the Knicks because Bill Jackson wanted Tony Kukoc to take the last shot. Do you think Michael Jordan would ever sit down during the last play, or would he have dished that assist?
Michael to get a full head of steam, try to keep him in the middle of the floor.
putting Mason on him. But from 6'7".
Your team just won a playoff game against the Knicks. This is your team. MJ's not there right now, and you can sit on the fucking bench with that stone face. This is a top 50 player. This guy here can talk shit about Michael Jordan? Come on. Since you want to run your big mouth, I'm going to run mine. I got some statistics for you, Scotty. Scotty, you average 16 points a game your career. That means you're number 240 on the all-time list of career points per game. You know who's number one, Scotty? You know who's number one with 30 points per game? Yep, that bad guy MJ. And your rebounds. I thought you'd get more rebounds. You're at 6.4 rebounds a game. That also puts you below 250 other NBA players. Your assists per game, well, you do better there. You're at number 111. But yet again, MJ's better at 106. And that's all while doubling your ass in points. So you're going to tell me that Scottie Pippen, with 16, 6, and 5, is top 50? A Hall of Famer? He's just as important to the 6 rings as MJ? You're going to tell me that? Here's another thing, Scotty. Another dose of reality for your crazy ass. You didn't do shit without MJ your last 6 years. Even though they built you a, we'll call it a super team in Houston. You had Barkley, you had Olajuwon, I think Drexler at one point. And what'd you do? You put up 10, 12 points a game, cashing in those big checks. You know, MJ averaged 26 and 4 at the age of 40 with one leg on a real shitty team. Look, we know you're mad because you're the second fiddle, but that's the role you chose, man. And with 6 rings, it seemed to have helped you out. Now 20 years later, you're all feeling some kind of way about MJ? Not remembering? You'd be average without him? Yeah, okay. His defense, man, his defense. Yes, Scottie Pippen was a great defensive player, but that's not what beat my Knicks and every other team in those days. It was Michael fucking Jordan that beat us. But Michael, he could also play some defense. Remember, he was the defensive player of the year while leading the league in scoring. You don't see that done.
Jordan putting moves on Houston.
And another thing that drives me crazy, people like Scotty like to bring up what Scotty was paid. Now, the truth is, that also was Scotty's decision. Scotty, you were worried about your back, weren't you? You were so worried about your back that you went against the advisement of your agent and the owner of the Bulls, and you signed that bad contract because you were worried you weren't going to last that long. That wasn't MJ, that was you, brother. And to be real, you still made more money playing ball than MJ. You just didn't have the charisma of Mike to make that Nike money. Okay, you have zero charisma. You're like a plank of wood. And like I said before, no one's buying their Pippens. But I digress. The sad part of all this is you two had a perfect partnership, and it worked for both of you until you lost your mind, Scotty. You're off the reservation right now. You're just coming off as bitter. And no, I'm not going to make the joke that MJ is so great. Your ex-wife wants to marry his son just to be close to that greatness after dealing with your emotional damage for all these years. Let me be honest. This woman, this is abuse. Why is she doing this? Look, even Michael Jordan told her to stop. This is ridiculous. What Michael's son is doing, I don't understand. But this woman needs to get help, all right? Stop doing it to this man. That's a whole nother video. That's a demon right there. And this is all coming from a lifelong Knicks fan. What these 3 guys need to do, Scottie Pippen, Luke Longley, Horace Grant, what they need to do is just shut up. Just shut the fuck up. Seriously, have some class. Understand, you all are looking ridiculous in front of everybody. People are laughing at you. All right? And you're just making Michael, you're just building his legend more. And in my humble opinion, without Michael Jordan, no one would know any of your names. Especially you, Scotty. Top 50? Really? 16, 6, and 6? Come on. Give credit where's credit due. Michael Jordan's the GOAT. We all know that. Don't bring up LeBron. Stop. I'll make a video about that if you really want me to tear down that paper tiger. Never seen someone promoted so much by any sports organization than that guy. All right? He's not a patch on Jordan's fanny, as the Mad Dog would say. All right. That's all I got to say. Scotty, Luke, Horace, shut the fuck up. Let's get the fuck out of here. Hey, let's go watch the original Space Jam. Besides Michael Jordan, Bill Murray. Bill friggin' Murray. Let's go.
Jordan, he's pretty good.